Supreme Health Coach and Emotional Eating Detox Coach of Holy Health Hack, and this is my channel. You are so welcome. Thank you for joining. So today's video is about my 30-day journey of fasting for Ramadan. I've been a faster for over half my life now, for nearly 30 years, but this was my first fast over Ramadan, during Ramadan, and from my first fast for 30 days. Previous to this, I had fasted for 10 days. So this is my journey, what happened. But before I begin, I want to stress that fasting isn't for everyone. Fasting should not be attempted by anybody who has any kind of chronic disease unless it is being recommended and monitored by a health professional. Fasting should not be done by any women who are pregnant or breastfeeding. And fasting should also not be done by anybody who has any chronic eating disorders. So that aside, my journey of fasting has been wonderful. It's been a wonderful experience for me. How did I get into it? Well, I was aware that Christians fasted and I was aware that Muslims fasted. And when I was 30, my spirit said, hey, how about a fast? What about looking into the benefits of fasting? What about a fast? And let's talk about the benefits of the fast before I go into that backstory. The benefits of fasting are so amazing. Fasting benefits your brain. It benefits your cellular health. It benefits your heart. It regulates insulin. It manages your metabolism. It decreases inflammation in the body. It increases your energy levels. It gives you clarity of mind. It reduces your weight. There are spiritual benefits of fasting and autophagy. An amazing, amazing benefit of fasting, which I will talk about a little bit later. But before that, my backstory. So I was aware of fasting as I was brought up as a Christian. I was 30, I was living in New York, and my spirit was like, hey, 5-day fast, what about it? Interesting. Okay, yeah, I'm all about the experience, always have been in my life. There is theory, but there is nothing that is a greater teacher than experiencing something. And I've experienced a lot of things, interesting things, but it was my first time of fasting at the age of 30. And so I set my mind to the task, did a little bit of research around sugar regulation and what I might experience, but I was feeling really confident. If it was good enough for millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of Christians and Muslims, then hey ho, it was good enough for me. I set the limit at 5 days. So what happened? Well, the first day was super, super interesting. What I became aware of, and that very first day, which was very powerful awareness, was that I wasn't going to feel hungry all day. I recognized and realized that hunger, that feeling in your body, was actually an alarm clock going off for us to say, hey, you need some energy, you need food. Hey, you need some calorific intake, you need food. Hey, you need energy. But that alarm clock wasn't just continuous. It wasn't continually feeling those little gripes in your stomach. It wasn't continually hearing the stomach. It was something that lasted for maybe 10 minutes. And then it went away. And then it subsided. And then it went away. And so understanding that was a real relief. And so that first day was quite empowering. What was interesting was that these thoughts were coming up in my mind. Are you sure this is what you really want to do? Are you sure this is really what you want to do? Are you sure this is really what you want to do? And every time those thoughts came up, because of my yogic practice and my meditation practice, I was able to say, just a thought passing by, bye. Just another thought passing by, bye. And I let those thoughts float in and out. But slowly, slowly, the body started to settle. The body started to realize what was happening. So day one, I went to bed quite empowered and quite relieved. Okay, day one, that has got to be the hardest because this is the first time I'm doing it. I've not eaten for 24 hours. I've only had water. That was the other thing. It was a water fast I was on. So that was the first day. The second day, I had not been prepared for this, but there was a little bit of a headache. This was obviously my caffeine detoxing from my body, my 1 cup of day coffee that I had become so used to and so loved in America. Yeah, I had a little bit of the headache, but just leaning in to water, leaning into my intention that this is what I was going to do for 5 days was really powerful. Yes, it was uncomfortable, but you know, so many things in life are uncomfortable and we can build up that emotional resistance to it. I had set an intention that I was going to do this for 5 days, and the intention was supporting me to 90% of accomplishing this, 90 to 100%. I set a really strong intention. I took it into my meditation. I made a decision that this was going to happen. And so even when those detox headaches were happening, I was firm, I was committed, and I breathed through it. I breathed through it. So day 2 was probably the hardest day, harder than day 1. Day 2 was the hardest day. But again, went to bed super grateful that day 2 had been ticked off. Day 3, super interesting. Day 3, the hunger pangs settled down, much less little alarm clock going off. The headaches had disappeared as well, and it really felt that my body had settled in to this understanding of what was taking place, what was happening. My body truly understood that the mind was in control here, and we were doing this fast mode. We were in fasting, and so, hey, time to settle down. And that was so comforting. Everything became so much easier. During the fast, I was obviously continuing to work, and that also became the focus. My work was the focus, my creativity was the focus, and so that again allowed the days to go through quite smoothly. What was interesting also, a great revelation, was how much time was taken up by thinking about food, planning meals, shopping for meals, making meals, and clearing up after meals, let alone eating the meal. The revelation that I was able to claim back at least 1.5 hours, if not 2 hours, 2.5 hours of my day was so wonderful, so incredible. I was able to give that time that was normally taken up around food to something else. That something else at that time was rest and more meditation. And so it was almost like I was playing with time. I was really stretching time, yeah, really playing with it. That was wonderful. Day 4. Woo! Day 4. I can still remember the feeling of elation. It was just an incredible feeling of power and elation and clarity that happened on day 4. It was obviously what people call this natural high, the natural high state that was just prolonged throughout the 16, 18 hours that I was awake. And this was the most powerful revelation, one of the most powerful revelations I've had in my life, that we can change something, we can tweak something in our lives and have such incredible benefits from it. But unless you try it, it's never going to happen. Unless you experience what this is, you don't really know. And so this mental clarity and this feeling of energy throughout every pore of my body made me feel absolutely superhuman. I was superhuman, and that felt amazing. Yes, I will say it. It just popped into my mind. As amazing as sex. Yes, as amazing. Not quite as amazing as an orgasm, but that extended power surge, yeah, superb, superb. So day 4, I realized I really like this. I really like this, and I'm going to continue to do this. And so day 5 was just more of the same, more of the same. However, on day 5, a little thought did cross my mind, and I remember thinking, ooh, you're super high. You're super high. I wonder if this is a little bit dangerous for you to be this high. And so my spirit reminded me, my higher self reminded me, you set the intention for 5 days, time to come back down to earth. I think by day 5 as well, I was hardly sleeping. I was just so high. It was like one long surge of power, and the clarity, creativity, downloads were coming. It was something I'd never experienced before, and I suppose there was a little bit of caution. It was like my higher self was telling me, be cautious, this is your first experience, so, you know, baby steps. So day 5, did I break my fast in the evening? I think that's what I did. And I broke my fast with juices and nuts, almond nuts. That was really my fast, breaking my fast. So it wasn't until the next morning that I really had breakfast. I think at that time, porridges, muesli, one of my favorites, would have been something I would have eaten for breakfast, a smoothie also. My first 5-day fasting experience was obviously the reason I then made it part of my lifestyle. I was fasting 4 times a year, sometimes every month. I'm not rigid with things. I flow through things. Sometimes it was three. There were periods where it was 4 times a year. There were periods where it was 10 times a year. I flow with things. I really listen to what my body needs at a high level, and I liked those 4 times a year to correspond with the change of the seasons, the solstice and equinoxes, and the beginning of the year. But this year, my spring equinox fast tumbled right into Ramadan, and my students, my friends were fasting, and so I thought, yeah, man, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna align myself with the energy of millions of people on the planet right now who are doing this thing and really benefit from that. And so, yeah, it's been a wonderful experience to really feel that I wasn't alone, that there was an energetic field that I was tapping into. And so what changed for me? Normally I don't do dry fast, so this was my first dry fast. I was only drinking in the early morning or at the evening when I was eating, breaking my fast. But what was different for me was that normally my eating window is between, my main meal is between 2 o'clock and maybe 6, 7 o'clock. I don't generally eat after 7 p.m. I like to have a window of 2 to 3 hours before I sleep. And I generally go to sleep at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And so this was the big change for me, only having a window after dusk of about 3 hours. That was the hardest part for me. And so my sleeping pattern did change slightly, where I was going to bed a little bit later, and I was waking at the same time, because I just value waking at 4 in the morning, 4:30 before light, so that I have my meditation time and I have my me time and my alignment time. That was the biggest change for me. There was less sleep for me for the last month. Don't know if you can see any changes under my eyes, but that was the biggest change. That was the hardest thing for me. Transitioning into one meal a day wasn't that difficult for me. What was difficult was trying to get the fruit in, my raw fruits and my raw foods, as well as getting the protein and enough energy to sustain. Um, yeah, eating in such a short window was the hardest thing. So some days I broke my fast with fruit, raw fruits, a lovely bowl of fruits, mixed fruits, and Jamaica is so blessed with fruits here, so lovely variety of fruits every day. Some days I just wanted muesli, that's my comfort food. Some days I wanted a bowl of muesli, which is fruits and oats and seeds and nuts, and I just wanted to eat that. And that was a high part of my protein, getting my protein in. I would also mix in my super greens with that, spirulina, moringa, chlorella, and yeah, topping up on the protein in terms of a nut milk. Before then, going into my grains, going into my proteins in the form of chickpea curries, stews, lentils, beans, peas, which I always had with the rice and peas. That was another protein hit. And half a plate of raw salad. So the hardest thing for me was kind of eating so much in a short window, just to ensure that I was good, because this month has been a month for me where I've been super focused on some product creation, and so I wanted to keep my energy high. And then the hardest thing was maybe going past my sleeping window. My circadian clock is super strong. I start yawning at about 9:30, and so that's my signal: time to meditate, time for sleep. It's been super super nice to feel that I was in a sense of togetherness with my brothers and sisters from around the world. We were doing this thing all together, learning about one of the underlying principles of Ramadan, which is thinking about others who have less than you, others who are less fortunate, others who have less food, and really tapping into that compassion for other people was one of the other benefits for me of doing this at this time. So yes, that has been my 30-day fast during Ramadan. I'm feeling super great, feeling super wonderful going through into this springtime, and really looking forward to the summer. I may continue for a few more days. I have really liked the one meal a day process, because as I said, it's the time saving that I really love. But it may be 2 meals a day I might go to. One where I'm getting in a lot of my raw and the fruits and the smoothies, and the other where then I focus on that more energy and protein. Ah yes, I almost forgot. Autophagy. Let's talk about autophagy. What is autophagy? Well, actually it's a Greek word that means auto, self, phagy, eating. So at its basic level, autophagy means eating of the self. And this is a process by which the cells degrade and recycle their damaged or dysfunctional components. Oh my God, how amazing is this? This mechanism plays a vital role in various physiological processes and has gained significant attention due to its potential health benefits. And so there's a lot of research going into this. Understanding the role of autophagy and its modulation through lifestyle factors like fasting provides valuable insights into the potential mechanisms underlying the health-promoting effects of fasting practices. And ongoing research continues to explore the intricate relationship between autophagy, metabolism, and disease, with implications for developing targeted therapies and interventions aimed at promoting cellular health and longevity. So here are the key points of autophagy. It is like a cellular cleaning system that cleans up damaged cells. And this has such an important role in health and disease because proper functioning of autophagy is essential for maintaining cellular health and preventing the accumulation of damaged or toxic materials within cells. Dysregulation of autophagy has been linked to various diseases, including neurodegenerative disorders such as Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's, and metabolic disorders such as diabetes, obesity, and cancer. So, what's the impact of fasting? Well, autophagy is upregulated during times of nutrient deprivation, such as fasting. And when the body is in a fasting state, especially during prolonged fasting or calorie restriction, cells activate autophagy as a survival mechanism to break down unnecessary or dysfunctional components and generate energy from stored materials. The induction of autophagy through fasting or caloric restriction has been associated with several health benefits, including improved cellular function, reduced inflammation, enhanced metabolic health, and potentially even lifespan extension in certain organisms. Studies in animals and some human trials suggest that promoting autophagy through fasting may have therapeutic implications for various age-related diseases. So various forms of fasting such as intermittent fasting, prolonged fasting can stimulate autophagy, and research indicates that intermittent fasting can increase autophagy in neurons, which may contribute to improved brain health and neuroprotection. However, there are considerations while fasting. Fasting can stimulate autophagy and potentially offer health benefits. It's important to approach fasting safely and responsibly. Fasting may not be suitable for everyone, especially individuals with certain medical conditions or specific nutritional needs. So consulting a healthcare professional before initiating fasting regimes is advisable. Wow, wow, wow. And this is why I fast. If anyone is interested in learning more about how to really take your mind into a space of where you can achieve what you want to do, that mind of intentional living, then please do click down below. So that's been my 30-day fasting journey during Ramadan. Please, if you have found this beneficial, please do thumbs up, please comment, please like, please share with your friends and family, and obviously subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here with more inspo and tips around longevity, emotional eating, and how you maintain supreme health so that you can get on and fulfill all your desires. Live your dream life, knowing that your body is strong and healthy and going to support that. Until next time, one love.